Robin, I thought we could talk about joy today. So I was wondering if you could share a story about a time in your life when you found instant joy.
That's like asking Ben or Jerry what their favorite flavor is. So I can definitely do that. It's funny because the story that's coming up for me actually revolves around event planners themselves. So I recently spoke at a huge gathering of event planners called the Great Lakes Education Summit that MPI puts together. And as the opening keynote, I really wanted to pour into this group of people and help them to be more spontaneous because it does bring joy. So I gave all these examples and told all these crazy stories. And by lunchtime, I could see people implementing one of the things that I talked about right then and there at lunchtime. And I tell you what, my joy bucket was overflowing because I could see that it impacted them and it mattered. And it was just the concept of sitting backward in our chair to eat our meal just because it's fun, it's different, and it's spontaneous. So I saw a bunch of people doing it and I thought it was awesome.
I kind of like that. I should implement that. Why not? It's fun to be
What's your
goofy
story?
as an adult. So
It is.
well, my story that I was thinking about, I was trying to pick one story in my life that, brought joy to me. And this is a very niche story, but when I was in middle school, I didn't quite realize that I needed glasses. So I remember sitting with my friend in the back of the classroom and we were both squinting at the board and we turned to each other. I'm like, what does that say? Can you see? And she goes, no, I can't see. So we both agreed. We turned to each other. We're like, I think we both need glasses. Well, we went home to our parents and we're like, hey, we can't really see the board. Let's go ahead and get our eyes checked to get glasses. And I remember going to the eye doctor and they gave me my glasses for the first time and I put them on and they said, look outside. And I looked outside and I could see all the individual leaves on the trees, which is such like a small detail that we don't really think about, but I didn't know what I was missing with not having glasses. So just being able to see like how beautiful the trees look. And when I didn't really even know that, I didn't know that I need glasses, didn't know, what the trees looked like in high def detail. So that was just a moment of joy in my life that it really taught me to just slow down and take everything in and find the little joys in the little things.
I love that story. And I'm reminded of the concept of, you don't know what you have. You don't realize what you're missing. And, we want to avoid difficulty. We want to avoid pain. And yet when we embrace how joy and messes can coexist, we see that, because we had a difficult experience, those joys are that much richer. If you had always seen those trees and those leaves and those details, you wouldn't have realized that they are amazing. But because you went from point A to point B, it changed your whole perspective. So I wrote a book called Messy Joy, and it's all about embracing that combination. And your story is just a perfect example of that. I'm so glad you shared that.
Thank you. That's another thing that I learned from you is that there's always goodness going on in the background. So practicing being cognizant of identifying those things is a great practice to do every day.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And thank you for sharing that message. That's a message that the world needs to hear.